Hello guys, so welcome back to another Shadow of War information video. Before I start, I would like to personally thank all you guys for continually supporting the channel by watching, listening, liking, and most of all subscribing. It means a lot to me, so again guys, thank you. Right, enough of the soppy business, let's get down to it. First of all, Monoliths told no lie when they said there was going to be so much more green in Shadow of War than there was in Shadow of Mordor. From the new gameplay we saw on the 11th Twitch stream, there was grass, trees and all kinds of vegetation, and what looked to be like a dense forest area near the fortress, which was located near the Sea of Nirn, and I did see some birds flying around. Orcs will have different colours in Shadow of War, as we see some pale skinned orcs, some greenish coloured orcs and some darker coloured orcs, which I think is pretty amazing, not to just have diversity between human characters but also between fictional species such as orcs. So guys, apparently there will be in-game latrines that the uruks will use. I couldn't tell if the developer was being serious when he said this, but it is what he said during the stream, and to be honest you can't get any more realistic than that. Shadow of War will also have environmental kills, with an example being shooting elevated wooden barrels with an arrow while an enemy is underneath. The red gems in Shadow of War are warrior gems that will typically improve the attacking stats for Talion, so if you guys always want to go on the offensive, you best load up on these red gems. Orcs in game can have throwing knives, which to be honest is cool, but I can imagine it being frustrating when you're on your last bit of health but you think you can make it, then bam, a throwing knife straight to the face. So guys, watch out for the no last chance trait matched up with a knife throwing skill. Moving on, there will be different types of walls and gates used for a defense in a fortress, with some being a lot stronger than others, and certain war chiefs can also bring these stronger wall upgrades with them when joining the ranks of a fortress. During a fortress assault, we will be able to potentially select 6 assault leaders when attacking a fortress, and when selecting an assault leader we will also be able to upgrade our attacking army by bringing in additional forces with upgrades, artillery and beast. From the gameplay we also saw Pacific leaders can bring different types of army forces, with the first 3 additional slots for the first leader being mounted cavalry, scrappers who are explosive orcs that charge the fortress gates and detonate the walls, and ologai who have massive club-like weapons that destroy fortress walls like walking battering rams, as well as being powerful in combat. The army upgrade for the second leader slots are number 1, the savages, who are dual axe wielding shock troops that get up close and personal in combat, which I'm sure you guys already know. Defenders, who have big shells that can block against a lot of damage that can also help capture victory points a lot faster, as well as having good protection from enemy archers. And hunters, who are spearmen that are also really deadly against beasts, meaning they will most likely be good to use against feral fortresses and beastmaster enemies. Next we have the 3 army upgrades available for the third leader slot, which is firstly the fiery siege beast that will rain fiery destruction upon the fortress walls, as well as the archers atop them. Secondly, the poisonous siege beast that creates projectiles of poisonous toxic clouds that will choke the defending siege beast and monsters. The third is the cursed siege beast, who will pummel war chiefs and their minions with dark crippling artillery fire as well as terror. Moving on to the 4th leader slot, which has creature forces to add to your army, with the first being Shelob's brood cluster of deadly spiders that swarm the fortress, poisoning and panicking and dazing its defenders. People have also been commenting that spiders are pretty small, but to be honest they are the first to get straight into the fight and are quite effective. The second creature for the 4th leader slot is the wargraug, who due to his size will cause devastating terrible physical destruction to the enemy side. The third and final creature is the wild drake, as it will swoop into the fortress raining fire from above, maybe as well as justice, though be careful because a wild drake's flames do not discriminate. There are also 2 other leader selections within the game for fortress assaults, but they were locked in this gameplay session but can be unlocked by progressing further into the game. And just so you know guys, the additional forces are not free and can be purchased with near enough and around 1,000 mirren. Moving on, at the beginning of a siege there is quite a bit of trash talk between the uruks and the enemy overlord and war chiefs, which I absolutely love and is totally relevant to the situation. For instance, an uruk said something along the lines of,
"Machines aren't so reliable when you're smacking an orc's heads between the gears,"
to a machine fortress overlord, which I thought was pretty damn funny. When attacking in a fortress, there will be 3 capture points you have to take over by defeating the enemies within them in order to initiate the fortress surrender and gain access to the overlord's throne room. Once the siege beast artillery gets destroyed, we can jump on its back and take him straight into battle, with the walls being no obstacle at all, and also have a straight punch up with the enemy graugs. During a battle, your uruks can get injured and bleed out, and since this happens over time we will still have a chance to save them and be the hero we were destined to be. After capturing all victory points, the enemy uruks will surrender, meaning you can go around draining them for health or add them to your army before taking on the overlord. Another cool thing is Talion and the overlord will also have a little trash talk once we enter the throne room, which if not anything else will get you motivated for a fight. Overlords will also have boss-like health bars seen in other games like Dark Souls, which means Monoliths does see these fights as boss battles. Talion will also give an epic speech after taking over a fort, which tells us there may also be some epic speeches ahead in the main story. When defending a fortress, we pretty much need to do the opposite of attacking and set up defenses and defend victory points, because it is totally possible to lose your fortress. So guys, since these uruks are a lot smarter, do be wary of any wooden horses. After taking a fortress, you can constantly upgrade it, for instance by adding more garrisons, therefore bringing in more war chiefs, in turn expanding the fortress with better upgrades, forces and defenses. Overlords can come out and accuse a Nuke of being a spy and kill them even if they are not a spy, which is amusing because it means uruks can get paranoid too. In game there will also be some battles outside of the fortress assaults, which will be large pitched battles, which I am real eager to see. The bars above the orcs' heads in the war menu symbolizes the progress of that specific orc in whatever task or mission they are currently doing within the world, and not a health bar as I first thought. Something crazy I witnessed in the stream is Celebrimbor has the ability to lift an attacking Caragor over his head and throw him over himself. Talk about WWE. If you take down a fortress and die in the throne room before taking out the Overlord, a quest will come up called Unfinished Business that will allow you to directly take on the Overlord again without a fortress assault, but if time passes again then you will have to start over, as new war chiefs will come and the fortress does reset. When time passes in one region, it will not pass in other regions in the general sense, but if you leave a region and come back later, time will pass in the sense that uruks will have leveled up and acknowledge that you have been gone for some time, which is damn cool. Normal uruks can also gain epic traits and in some cases can become legendary. Last but not least, it is totally possible for one of your whole fortresses to rebel and join Sauron's army, meaning you pretty much can lose a fortress instantly. So guys, this has been all the information I gathered from Monoliths' 11th Twitch stream. A lot of it did seem like expansive information that has been discussed before, but there were also some cool new pieces of information too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, stay tuned for future Shadow of War and gaming content, and I thank you incredible people for watching.